The PWC Network. What the world is watching and listening to.
Owens has lost it. No, Cole, that's the problem. Kevin Owens knows exactly what the hell he's going to do.
He stooped to the level of Tonga and Solo Sikoa of the Bloodline now with this relentless assault.
This is never good.
Kevin Owens hooked him. He hooked him. Brain Buster through the chairs. Brain Buster. Chairs. Holy cow! Kevin Owens trying to crawl to the cover to put Tonga away. Meanwhile, who the hell? Oh my God! Cole, is that? Oh my God!
You know who that is,
Cole! Oh my God! That's Tonga Loa! That's Tonga's brother! That's Tonga's brother!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Viper, Randy Orton!
I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to fade. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying, I taste blood that's drying, I feel tension rising. I have voices in my head, they come to me, they understand, they talk to me.
Yes, Wade, that is a 11,000 number to the WWE Universe, singing along with Red Theory to welcome the Viper.
Come for the grappling, stay for the karaoke. Thank you, Leon.
Just take the grease. All the judges, you are guilty. Bastards on the fire. All your banks will have losses. Politicians all
Welcome for the Apex Predators.
see darkness falling. I hear voices calling. I feel justice crawling. I see faith has fallen. I have voices in my head. They come to me. They understand. They talk to me. They talk to me. They tell me things that I will do.
Let me talk to you. All around the world, it's the same song. Another smackdown, another dummy dropped on his head, 3 the hard way. Yeah. Now, if I wanted to be cliche, I'd say this is my ring, right? But no, I ain't gonna do that. Instead of me saying, like everybody else, oh, this is my ring. No. I'm gonna make this my ring. What do I mean by that? I'm now officially entered into the King of the Ring.
Whoa. It's impressive. Impressive. You just keep talking and talking and talking and talking. I'll show you who sucks. You keep running your mouth on and on. Because I'm king of the ring. While you're busy running your mouth, I'll be busy winning.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear anything you said. Oh, Leon was telling you suck. But you know, but through that, the one thing I heard is I think you said that maybe I talk too much. Should I maybe just keep on talking, Leon? Yeah, that's about what I thought, because for you, when I stop talking, that's the time that you get stomped out. And you'll be laying there thinking to yourself, my God, what was I just doing? I know whose game this is. And before anybody here tells you, you'll think to yourself, and you'll hear the whole damn world saying, with everybody saying, yeah!
Voulez-vous parler de quoi?
Hey, Cody, I don't care what they want to talk about. You're in the ring with a phenomenal AJ Styles. It's almost like you
has lost it. No, Cole, that's the problem. Kevin Owens knows exactly what the hell he's going to do.
He stooped to the level of Tonga and Solo Sikoa of the bloodline now with this relentless assault.
This is never good
Kevin Owens hooked him. He hooked him. Brain Buster through the chairs. Brain Buster through the chairs. Kyrie, caught by Jade Cargill, powers up Kyrie Sane. Look at this, what a display of athleticism, Jaded! And now Belair with Oscar on her shoulders. But KOD
on to Kyrie.
Cover! Champions!
Here are your winners and the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair!
Corey, that sequence in the end, the display of power by Jade Cargill is what she's all about. What a start to her career here in WWE, and for the first time in her career, Bianca Belair is a tag champ.
contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the undisputed WWE Championship! Introducing the challenger from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, the phenomenal AJ Styles!
The camera is bouncing.
Opponent from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 222 pounds, he is the undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show where, after the collision, we see through the
Wreckage.
Wreckage. And yeah, even though it's not after the collision, it's actually after the backlash, it seems. But you know what, Vet? I didn't even realize that we didn't have a collision. No shit. I was kind of surprised. Again.
Well, we didn't have a collision, but we can thank Will Ospreay for those hot bars, I guess, that are playing in the background. Could you fade that down, please? I'm done with it. What is that?
That's the backlash.
Some of that UK rap bullshit?
Yeah, it is the UK rap bullshit.
You actually listen to that, Jim?
I'm not the biggest fan of all these guys, but I like a few rappers. See, the thing is, the Australian rap scene is kind of similar to the UK sort of style, especially like the UK drill sort of sound, which is that. But yeah, look, I don't mind some guys, but really, I grew up on the American shit, man. Particularly on your side, you know, on the West side, when it comes to hip hop. So, and I know a lot of you East Coasters will poo-poo me for saying that, but I don't give a fuck. I'm a G-Funk guy, you know what I mean? That's just me. That's what I grew up on. Right. But anyway, we're not here to talk hip hop or G-Funk or the drill, but we're here to drill. But we could. I mean, shit. I mean, sometimes I'd rather talk that.
We got a free play on this episode today. It's an open challenge, Jimmy. We got an open challenge here on the Wreckage. Anybody wants to talk about something, shoot us a topic, man. But we'll kick you off with something fresh.
Absolutely. So yeah, basically tonight we've got even a question and answer thing. So anyone in the chat, feel free to ask us anything, and we'll try to answer those questions as best to our abilities. But before we do get into that, Vet, let's talk some Backlash, where it was live from Lyon, France, or should I say Francois, or whatever. I can't even do the accent right now. But, dude, look, for me, this was a great crowd. It was red hot. I don't think I've ever heard... No shit. I've never heard a fan base this crazy before. I thought Puerto Rico was nuts the year before for Backlash. But damn it, man, Lyon has taken the reins from anybody, from down here, from the UK, the US to Puerto Rico. I don't think anyone's been louder than France. And what is kind of annoying, and this is why I texted you, actually, funny enough, a lot of people seem to have been annoyed by the fans claiming they took over and whatnot, but that's not the case, and I'll tell you why if anyone thinks that. But Vet, what's your sort of opinion on the fan base?
Well, it's better to have a fan base like this than not, right?
Absolutely.
I think we can all agree that the idea is that the people have a good time, and you could definitely say that this crowd had a good time in Lyon, but that's probably a function of the fact that they don't get shows like this. Like, how often does wrestling come to France? Like, I don't know that France is really a hotbed for wrestling. They may have had every wrestling fan in the country in that building for all we know. And And so, but that's the thing. Like, that's one of the reasons why they don't go there often, is because it's not traditionally known as, like, sure, Andre the Giant came from there, but not a lot of wrestling in France. And, but when you don't get something for a long time, you're really excited when you get it, right? I mean, some of these towns, they get in the United States, they get run 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year by different companies, like,
absolutely.
So how excited can you get, like, if WWE comes to, say, Las Vegas or something, or even AEW comes to Las Vegas, well, then when TNA's in Las Vegas, like, how excited can they be? You know what I mean? It's just, yay, all right, Sammy Callahan. Like, what? Of course you're not going to get that. Over here in France, they're singing songs and everything, which is definitely seems like a Europe thing to sing. But
thank you. That's what I was going to say, bro.
But so here's the thing. So you asked me what I think of it. I like it and I don't like it. What I like is I like the passion. I like the creativity. I like the loudness. I like that. But then I also think that as a crowd, because they're just going into business for themselves too. They're like, hey, we're part of the show. We're taking over. We're doing this, right? And I think there's sometimes when they could pull it back. Like, and they were pretty with the show. They weren't just like ignoring what was happening.
No,
like, they would like kind of pop on every punch or every move or whatever. But then there would be like, like in the main event, for example, that's something that come to mind when like Cody and AJ are doing a little back and forth sequence and they're just singing through it instead of reacting to it. That's one of those times where they could cut back and then they could sing for a little bit and then cut it off. Like, feel it out, guys. Like, just feel out, just like the wrestlers feel it out. The wrestlers have to feel out the crowd. The crowd should feel out the wrestlers too. Like, if they're doing something that doesn't fit with your singing, maybe stop singing for that part. And then when you do, like, then go back to the singing for like a double down or whatever you do. So I just think that the crowd needs to learn to work also, but I did enjoy the uniqueness of that, that participation.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up because you know what they were singing during the main event during that spot, actually? The French national anthem.
Yeah, we don't need that. Like,
yeah, that was weird. Like, and the only reason why I know that is because, I love soccer, right? For example. And I know the French national anthem only because I've heard it so many times in World Cups and whatnot, right? So I knew that's what I was singing. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? You're singing the French national anthem?
Came out, you heard it.
Oh yeah, true. That's right. You're right. Hey, you're switched on. I like that, Vet. That's good. Why should I even doubt you, Vet? You're the vet. You seem to be the vet on everything. It's true. You're cultured. I like that. But yeah, they were singing that. But also, what made me laugh the most about the main event in particular, the phenomenal chant, dude. The second the ring announcer, when they announced him as phenomenal, that's it. That was the cue for them to go phenomenal. That was funny, and they just kept singing it, phenomenal. You know what I mean? And I thought that was cool. I knew they were going to be big with AJ, dude. I had a feeling they were going to really be excited for AJ Styles. Sure, they were excited for Cody too, but man, AJ looked like a god in that match. I'm not going to lie. Not to mention Jay Uso. Damn, dude, that was a spectacle when he came out doing his yeet. Bro, the fact that they pulled out their phones and used the light on their phone, that was actually a smart thing to do. You know what I mean? I felt like it made the scene, dude. It was just cool to see. And look, these fans, like you said, dude, they're from Europe, and this is how they are. It doesn't matter what country you go to in Europe, dude. They're going to be doing soccer-esque chants, which they were, and that's just the way they are, dude. They weren't there to really take over the show. They were just happy to see the show. But in the main event, I can understand what you said. There was a little bit of taking over going on there because why sing the French national anthem? But what impressed me most, they weren't just like, a new fan base. They seemed to be clued in on the product, dude. They knew what was going on. And I find that very impressive. And I think WWE themselves underestimate their reach. You know what I mean? They're used to going to the same old countries when they go overseas, right? It's usually, Australia, the UK.
Now, wait, on that note that you're saying right there, just to pause you right there, Jimmy, this is why I get irritated. You've seen me get irritated when people say the phrase trying to break into such and such market. Oh, we're trying to break into the Indian market. Oh, we're trying to break. No, you're in the market.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, hiring a wrestler of a perceived ethnicity is not you trying to break into the market.
That's true.
That's what a mark fan would think. Or if they really are doing that, then they're marks. You know, we're trying to get in the Chinese market, so we'll hire one Chinese person. Yeah, sure. Like that'll
That's
work.
not right.
No,
right.
but the point is, you already have the fans there. The WWE doesn't need to hire a Jinder Mahal or a Indus Sher or whatever to get Indian fans, because the Indian fans are already there. There's billions of people there, and they love the WWE. But what the people in other countries like India, like any place in Southeast Asia like that, or in places like France, or even places like Saudi Arabia, they like the people that are over. They like the people that have been stars for years and years. They like, you know, when I talk to people, because I talk to people or maybe people I work with or other people that are wrestling fans and they're from other countries and things. And when I ask them about it, they don't tell me like, oh, you know, my favorite wrestler is this person because he's where I'm from. They're like, who's your favorite? And they're like, John Cena, The Undertaker, the over guys. That's who they like. They don't care where they're from. They like who's over. And some of them even look at it as like a real sport half-ass still. So whoever's winning, they like them. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it is. So it's just annoying when I hear people say that and I get irritated, and you guys hear me get irritated every time somebody says trying to break into such and such market, and I just roll my eyes, because here's France. Ain't no French wrestlers in there. Ain't nobody in that market. Kevin Owens is not from France, you know, but I guess they figure, well, he can speak French close enough, right? But like, he ain't from there. But what has that got to do with them? You know, what does French people have to do with them singing Cody Rhodes' theme song for like the whole verse until you know, you know what I mean? Like, they cut off his music and they finished it. So what about Cody has anything to do with France? Does that mean that Cody's trying to break into the France market? You know,
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, fans are fans.
Fans are fans, exactly, man. And like I said, I just think WWE's reach goes so beyond, man. Like right now, I just feel like them showing off international crowds. I mean, look at their lineup this year, dude. I mean, aren't most PLEs overseas compared to the US? I think there's more overseas PLEs this year than the US.
Maybe. I wonder if one of the things I was wondering while I was watching is, are they smart enough to be like, look, this show is trash and nobody's going to want to watch it. But if we put it in a hot country, then it's going to make the show seem better than it is, right? That's why you go to Puerto
that was
Rico.
Exactly the case, right?
You know, what match was on that Backlash in Puerto Rico besides the Bad Bunny match that anyone can remember? I can't remember none of the matches that were on that show. Maybe the EO and Bianca one.
Oh yeah, that one was the hottest match. Period. Other than Bad Bunny.
But who remembers? Nobody remembers.
Right.
So, and the same thing with this. Like, in 6 months to a year to 2 years, no one's going to remember who was on this show. They'll just remember the crowd making all that noise, right? So
that's
if
what
you
made
have
the show.
So if you want to put on a C list, it would be like a C list pay-per-view. It would be a B plus list live event, right? And if that's your card, but if you put it in a country that's underserved, they're going to get up for it and they will make these people stars.
Oh, absolutely, man. And it came across that way. And I'm all for WWE to go everywhere, man. Why not? I mean, I truly think in most countries around the world, and let's be honest, right? You could go to just about any country in the world and you ask anybody, do they know AEW, right? And I'm not talking about the English-speaking countries. Everyone knows AEW, right? But I'm talking about just, obscure sort of countries. The only countries that would know AEW is your English-speaking countries. But if you mention WWF, 90% chance they will know what you're talking about, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's WWE's reach. You know what I mean? Whether it's WWF or WWE, it doesn't matter. Like, people know who that company is, and it just shows the difference. And you know what? I think they should have maybe put this in a stadium. You know what I mean? Because it would have. Imagine that whole place. They would have lit up flares, bro. I'm telling you now. Like, we've never seen flares in pro wrestling, but I'm telling you, if that was in a stadium, there would have been a good chance that flares would have been lit up, dude. No, I guarantee it almost.
Well, did you happen to see the thing that Triple H said at the press conference?
I did watch the presser.
Didn't he say something about Nick Khan just texting him in the middle of the show?
Oh, yeah,
stadium?
The stadium, right. I mean, I'm sure they will the next time, man, but it's risky. Only because they're going to light up flares. I'm telling you, dude, I can just see it. But we'll see if they go that way. But hats off to France. They performed. Maybe, you annoyed a lot of the fan base. And I'm telling you, there was a lot of fans that were pretty, sort of irked by it. And I guess
aren't a lot of fans irked by everything? Isn't everybody just going on social media to say, hey, what about what I think? Isn't that the whole point? Are they really trying to help any companies? Is any wrestling fan that goes on social media trying to help a company, or are they just bitching?
Dude, you took the words out of my mouth, because I was interacting with all those pricks, right? Like that were talking like that. And I'm like, you guys are all fickle, man. Like, for real. We all complain about the product. Now we're going to complain about the fans too. I'm like, do we like this shit? Like, is there anything we actually like about this shit? Because all we like is complaining. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the IWC. And I just felt like that's going a little too far now. Like, if we're going to bitch about the fan base, now we've lost the plot, Vet.
I'd rather listen to a live crowd sing than to silently read an annoying tweet.
And I don't blame you. And there's a lot of them. Right now, it's bombarded, dude, with all the annoying tweets, especially the AEW side of things, which makes me laugh.
What else is new?
I know, it makes me laugh.
Well, they all know how to run promotions, Jimmy. They're all business geniuses, and they're all wrestling promoters that have retired and since gone on to Twitter. So they know exactly what Tony needs to do, right?
Well, Cold Blooded actually says Vetti's 100% right. It's like when a kid gets so excited they get a nosebleed.
Yeah.
Come on,
Cold,
just don't be one of those.
First sentence. That would have been good enough.
True. We've got a few. Also, Cold Blooded said they can do shows overseas, but they all need to still run on US time. They still show up if the show is at 3 a.m. in Germany. They won't show up at 3 a.m. in Germany, I don't think. But I will say this. When UFC do pay-per-views here in Australia, for example, they do it based off US time. So, for example, they won't start at 8 p.m. Australian time. They'll start at like 2 p.m. Australian time. So then it's like 8 p.m. on the East Coast of the US, for example. And people turn up. So if you have it between 12 and 3 o'clock, say, people will definitely turn up. But anything earlier than that,
yeah,
I don't know.
Makes sense. If it makes sense, that works out both. But I'm not. Yeah, no. Just do whatever is easiest for the people that's going to be in the city. It's their treat anyway. You know.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't matter when you watch it. Like, you don't have to watch Backlash in the morning. You can watch it whenever you want. It's on Peacock, so just watch it when you get a chance to watch it.
Thanks, Cold. Thanks, man. But hey, WB still do it at the normal time down here, so you guys watch it really late. But anyway, in saying that though, what was the highlight of the night for you, Vet, when it comes to Backlash? Other than the fans, of course.
Yeah, let me think. I'm trying to think. I didn't really care about any of the matches on the show before they were announced, and I didn't really care about any of them while I was watching it either. I found it to be quite a, when you take away the energy, it was quite a lackluster card on paper, and throughout the event, unfortunately, there were a lot of mistakes on all counts.
There's a lot of botches, man, and I don't know if it was the fans that look. Jay Cargill, we can start with that if you want.
Okay, let's start with it.
Did you feel in her match with Bianca Belair, and them two are great, just the aesthetics of them two is just brilliant. But in saying that, I felt like she looked kind of like a deer in the headlights with a few spots in that match. Is it just me, or do you feel the same way?
Well, no, you were right, but there may be more to it than just what it looked like. Because everybody fucked up. Yeah. Every single person in that match fucked up. Every one of the performers fucked up. The referee fucked up, and whoever put that shit together, whatever agent, whatever Jamie Noble or Ken Doan or what any of these motherfuckers in the back are working with these women, you fucked up. You put way, way, way too much into this match for these ladies to go out there and do. It should not have been any of that. So I was just watching the whole thing like it was a fantastic, fascinating train wreck to watch.
Right. True.
Because it's like I just couldn't believe how they could get so many things wrong, and I'm not even talking about the mistakes. Because who knows? Sometimes in a match, shit goes sideways.
Of course, and it's normal. It happens.
One of the reasons why you need to, like, it's still important, even to this day, for people to learn how to call matches in the ring is because of exactly a match like this. Because when things go off the rails, you can go on autopilot. You just know what to do in those situations. Whereas if all you've ever done is memorize your match and go out there and do it, then the minute anything goes wrong, it's like a house of cards. Everything, that one card gets pulled out, everything else falls apart. So that's what you saw here. It was not just one person's fault. Because what you see Jade is like when something is up with, let's say Kyrie, right? Something happened. I don't know if she got loopy or if she just wasn't able to communicate, but you'll see Jade going like, Jade's supposed to be like on offense and she's going to like listen, like, what do I do? What do I do? She's like leaning in. It's like, that's bad. Right. And Bianca can't come in and just take over because not only does she not know how to work either, but she's not legal, so she can't. Right? The referee had a hard time getting somebody out of the ring when he kept telling Kyrie she wasn't legal, and then telling her to get out of the ring, and then eventually Kyrie goes over there and Asuka tags her, and he's like, tag, like, no, what are you talking about? You just told her to get out of the ring for 2 minutes and she didn't do it. So why didn't she listen? Why didn't you get her out of the ring? Why did you act like that was a legal tag? They pinned the wrong person at the end, by the way. I don't know if you caught that too. Even though
I thought I noticed
we should have lost track through all that mess.
Right. No, I did. There was a couple of things, dude, and it happened on SmackDown too, actually, with not the legal person getting pinned. So this wasn't... Look, could it be the fans? They were so loud that they just couldn't hear what was going on. And the thing is, Jade asking Io for guidance, right, just sounds bizarre to me when you think about it, right? I mean, Io doesn't speak... I mean, what was I saying Io for?
One Sky Pirate, easily confused with another Sky Pirate.
Right, I meant Kairi Sane. And, she can't speak English that well, and let alone Jade understanding her type of English, say. I'm not sure if she does or she doesn't, but with the fans...
Yeah, plus, besides all that, Kyrie's not really a ring general type.
No,
Kyrie's
no way.
I'm a cute little pirate princess who kicks ass type. She's not the one to, like, take charge and start running things when it gets awry. Asuka's the kind of person to do that, but even then, like I said, same problem with Bianca. She's not in the ring at the time. And then it just kind of all falls apart. Once she got a hold of it, it kind of got a little bit back on track. But I mean, she's by far and away the most experienced person in there. But if she's not in there, and there was one spot where I saw like, it's like her and like Asuka and Jade kicked each other. And I know, I was like, oh my God, because I know exactly what happened. I bet Asuka called kick. And Jade thought she meant for Jade to kick.
100%.
And she was giving her the watch the kick.
Yeah.
That could have been like, you have to say, when you're dealing with somebody as green as Jade, you have, which is pun intended.
Yeah.
You have to dumb it down as much as possible to make sure they understand. You have to say
100%.
kick me. You can't just say kick, or you have to say, sell the kick, or whatever the
Right.
phrasing is that you're saying when you're letting her know what the next thing is. Don't leave it up to confusion, right? So it just really got awkward and fell apart in there, but it could have happened to anybody. The reason that it never looked this bad back in like the 90s, the 80s, any of the times before
We
that
weren't
is
looking for
because,
shit like that.
well, they were used to that kind of stuff, and that's why they could go on autopilot, because they didn't all plan 100% of their match ahead of time, and they would go on autopilot. You mean to tell me, like, with all the pills and booze and everything, and everybody showing up to their match drunk and all this stuff, you mean to tell me nobody ever forgot the spot before? Of course they did, but they were just better at going on autopilot because they've had thousands of matches, so they just knew, I'll just grab a headlock and go into this. Like, it was no big deal to do that, even if you were fucking drunk. Like, how could the Sandman have done any of his, like, most of his career? Like, how many matches do you think went belly up with the Sandman in it? But it's like, whatever. I'll just climb up something and jump off it. Whatever. Like, it's no big deal. But these ladies have not been doing it
That's
as
what's
long.
funny. Right, that's true. And it's funny because ECW back then was full of all that shit. If you watch it now, really, I mean, it was botch heaven. I mean, imagine all the content that Botchamania and Primo Joe would have. I mean, it'd be endless if you looked at ECW shit. But that was then, this is now. And again, that goes back to the agents, though, I think.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. So bringing it back to the agents, whoever was the producer for this particular match, you can't do this much. What the match was about switching a title, right? That's the point. And to do that, you're also trying to showcase Jade. And to showcase Jade, you also have to protect Jade because of exactly why.
All of them have to protect her, right? Yeah.
You try to put too much on her plate, it's going to get ugly, or at least it has the higher percentage chance of getting ugly. The whole match should have been, like, the first time Jade tagged in, it should have been come back, go home. Like, she should have decimated both the women, like, by herself and pinned them, and that's it. Like, there should not have been any extra. She shouldn't have to sell anything. She should have, the Kabuki Warriors, they look strong beating up Bianca, and then when Bianca finally gets the tag, which Bianca's obviously just about as big as Jade Cargill and impressive as Jade Cargill, so you have to do those things to, like, so the match is very simple. You let Bianca showcase the power, showcase the agility, do all that fun
and have
stuff.
Jade as the hot tag.
Huh?
And have Jade come in as the hot tag, you know what I mean, and clean up house.
Yeah. Well, don't get ahead of yourself. Let me lay it out.
Sorry.
Because I'm the producer now. Look at me. I'm the producer now. Okay? So so we get the mat, ding ding, Bianca shine up. She beats up both girls. Like, she beats up Asuka. Asuka's like, fuck this, I'm tagging out. Kyrie comes in, has an even worse time. Bianca, tears her up, and then all of a sudden, Asuka just comes in. They try to double team. Bianca kind of gets over on both of them, and then they go powder out. Then she goes to go get him. Maybe she'll do she'll go to, like, jump on him or something, like from the top rope, do like that cross body thing or whatever. Then maybe they move. Ow, I'm hurt. Now I hurt myself. You see what I mean? Like, now it's like, I'm really hurt now. That's why I can't keep kicking their asses, because I'm hurt. They can do double team shit, cheating shit, push her in the ring post, push her in the barricade, do this stuff while the referee's distracted, do all that stuff. And meanwhile, Jade's getting pumped up because she's like, I want to get in there. I want to get in there. I want to get in there. Now the crowd's going to want to see her get in there. Right. Then when she finally comes in, when Bianca can finally escape and make the tag, Jade comes in, quickly cleans house, maybe 6 moves, one more big move, and that's it. And that's 1, 2, 3 new champs. That's all anybody wanted. That's all the match needed. And you could have took as long, you could make the match as long as you want, but the match could have been the same length of time, but you make the heat longer. You beat up Bianca longer. And Bianca, while she was taking the short heat she did, she was still like fighting back and hitting moves on him. And it's like, you're killing Jade's comeback when you do that. If you beat up both the girls by yourself after you've been hurt, you're killed. Why do I need to see Jade come in? Obviously, Bianca's got this by herself. I don't need a partner. So why do I want to see her come back? They ruined everything in the match by doing that. Bianca should not have been fighting back. She should not have been trying to look strong or whatever. That's something the producer needs to explain to her. She's supposed to look good at the start. Then Jade's supposed to look good at the end. And in the middle, the champs look good. That way, when you beat them...
common sense, dude. It's really common sense.
Well, you think so, but obviously not. Because somebody is fucking getting paid a handsome salary to let these women go out and fuck all that up and look bad in the process. It's like...
Could it be Abyss?
99% whoever that is fault. I'd love to know who it was. But
I'm sure
we'll find give out people too much to do.
Right. I'm sure we'll find out actually who were the agents for these matches, because usually it does come out, in a week or two, but we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Abyss that even did this, just because of the record that it kind of was when you think about it. But I don't know. We'll find that out. And speaking of fuck ups, now I don't think I've mentioned this yet on the air. I'm getting confused with what we're saying off the air and on the air, but let's go back to the first match between Kevin Owens, Randy Orton against Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. Now, if there was a fun train wreck of a match, it was probably that. And again, the fans made this, but it felt a lot more, I don't want to say real, but Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga especially made that match feel real, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, these guys were just... It didn't matter if anyone else was coming to hit them. They just had their eyes on each other. And they were just going all out, from biting each other to, like, all sorts of shit. But what confused me, why did we get all the officials coming to the ring? The match had fucking started. Wasn't it no DQ? It wasn't a no DQ match? Okay, well, there you go. The whole match then was a whole fuck up. If that wasn't a no DQ match, then what the fuck was going on, dude? Like, really?
Yeah, I mean, the match never started, so... But, I mean, how do you
never
have
had a bell?
match where... No, it never started because they just started fighting immediately. But when you already had an angle leading up to this where attempted vehicular manslaughter was involved...
Yeah.
And then you're going to sit on the apron and wait for a tag? See, that's the psychology, again, of the booking where... They just don't think about the stuff that they do. Of course, this man drove a car into me. Why would I wait for a bell to fight him? Well, shit, why would I wait for the match? Why wouldn't... do you mean to tell me, hey, did Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga take the same plane over? So did they just sit in their seat with their seatbelt on? Like, the whole flight was like, oh boy, when that bell rings, we're gonna kill... I'm so mad at... Yeah, like... I mean, does anybody ever think of this for 1 second? Does anybody think of it? So it's already silly enough to think that you would have to, like, you're just going to have a regular tag team match. They should have advertised it as a no DQ, a street fight. Not that we don't have enough of those in wrestling anyway. But I'm just saying, like, if this is what you're going to do, this is how you do it. If you're going to try to kill a guy with a car, you kind of can't just have a regular match, right?
No, I agree, 100%. And Scott Woods says, I always think of that, apparently. So, but look, it's pro wrestling. When you start thinking that way, but you're all right, it's true. But if we start thinking that way all the time in blood feuds, it's just going to fuck the whole perception up of the whole feud. So that's when a la carte should come in, right?
That's why everything needs to, like, wrestling is long overdue for dialing everything back a lot. Like, we've got to dial everything back because it doesn't mean anything anymore. Right. Nothing means anything anymore. Nothing. Name one thing that means anything. Everything means so much nothing that the biggest entertainment fans get is singing at the show. It's like, that's how they're entertaining themselves. They don't
which
chant,
could be
you know,
thought of as a
they're-
positive and negative at the same time. Right.
they're just, well, it's a negative in general, because if you
Right.
don't care enough about what's going on that you could just start singing songs, whether it's in the middle of a match or whether you just sing people's entrance music or whatever you do to just sing and entertain yourself, like that obviously means that you've long since disregarded this as anything resembling legitimate. So you're just there to have fun no matter what's supposed to be going on. So if they're trying to do something serious and you're out there like la 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 la, like you're, why even bother? Like, why even show up? Why are we doing any of this? Why don't we just have a boring wrestling match where you ring the bell, you grapple a little bit, and one guy pins the other guy, and there's no emotion or no story or anything. Let's just do that. So maybe we can get back to a point where, you know, a backstage assault means something, where you know, like a personal issue means something, where a championship means something. It doesn't mean anything. Right now, wrestling is in the singing phase.
It's the singing era, as a matter of fact. I mean, it's true, but Scott says a funny comment in the chat saying, I'm going to book a match with paper, rock, scissors is the stipulation. I mean, imagine that. That's pro wrestling right there, Scott.
Well, let me put it to you like this, right? If you were watching, say, like, I don't know, if you guys, how big a tennis fan are you, Jimmy?
Funny you bring that up. I'm playing, I swear to God, I'm playing
Topspin
Topspin 2K24. Love the game, bro. It is fucking brilliant. I'm glad. It's funny that you brought that up, dude, because I just bought it. And yeah, I like tennis. I used to play it a lot.
All right, so name today, using today's top tennis players. What's a tennis match you'd want to see, like at the Australian Open finals, right? Like who would you like to see face off?
Well,
give me
probably,
two names, just for the sake of argument. It doesn't have to be exact.
All right. Tsitsipas would be one, right? And the other one would probably be Djokovic, say.
Okay, Djokovic, right? So what was the first one you said?
Tsitsipas. He's a Greek player from Greece. He's in the top 10, dude.
Never heard of him, but hey,
one of the best.
This is his chance, right? He's facing the best in the world, right? So
he's been in Grand Slam finals, but yeah. Anyway.
All right. So let's say they're about to go out for the finals, right? And then Tsitsipas attacks Novak Djokovic with a racket, Jim Cornette style. Bam! Hits him in the back of the fucking cerebellum with the racket, right? How shocked would everybody there be at the Australian Open?
Oh, they'd be disgusted.
What do you think would happen? Do you think the police would be called? Do you think it would just turn into a riot? You think this whole thing would be in chaos, right?
It's happened before, kind of. Not by a player hitting another player, but do you remember Monica Seles back in the day?
Yeah, well, I remember getting stabbed, but that's
exactly.
That was a fan, though. I'm talking about.
But that was a fan, right?
I'm talking about Monica Seles. Yeah, what if she got stabbed by some other female tennis player? This is my point.
Right, I get you though. Right.
If a tennis player attacked another tennis player before a big tennis match, the whole thing would get upended. Like, this would be national news. This would be worldwide news. Everybody would be covering this. It would be like, what the fuck was wrong with Tsitsipas or whatever his name is? Like, how could he do that? Like, he just cost himself a chance to be the Australian Open champion. Like, all this stuff, right? To wrestlers, that's just that happens 5 times a Monday night.
Right.
Somebody jumping another guy and nothing ever happens. We don't care. Nobody legitimately cares if somebody gets jumped backstage anymore. We don't even care if Kevin Owens gets hit by a car with Tama Tonga driving it anymore. We don't care. It's like, wrestling's phony. We don't care. Nice try, we will never care. But in real sports, that would be a huge deal. It would be worldwide news. I'm not saying 100%. That wrestling can get to that level where we can make people believe
of hate.
But what I am saying is we've definitely gone the other way and made people do the opposite of believe. So maybe it's time to just cool it with that stuff for a little while and try to get more creative in other ways. I think would benefit everybody.
And you bring up about dialing it back. Do you remember a time where dudes would actually do that shit, right? In wrestling, I'm saying, right? The wrestlers would do some stupid shit to each other. You know, there would be cops arresting these guys at the very least. You remember those days? We don't even see that anymore. Do you know what I mean? We don't actually see arrests happen and whatnot. So, you know,
no, we just have guys in security shirts get punched out by the women.
Right, all the time. Yeah. But by like 2 women, though. Or 1 woman, like a whole bunch of fucking... Yeah, that's... When you say dial it back, that's a perfect example, man. And they should take it back to the fucking fundamentals, man. Or at least they call it the reality era, but what's so realistic about that shit? It's not. You know what I mean? So dial it back and just be realistic, man. Like if someone does some shit like that where it's supposed to be a no-go, you shouldn't be doing that shit, especially in the back, because that's assault. It becomes assault. Whether it's kayfabe or not, people would think it's assault. So arrest the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just
do
it.
If you want to write it, if that's your creative, then you got to follow up on it. Like if I'm Triple H and you hand me the paper and it says so-and-so attacked so-and-so, I'm like, okay, well, next week we're going to have so-and-so be suspended and arrested. So
all that, right, exactly.
Because if each one of these wrestlers usually gets to work with the same writers, you know, like writers are in charge of certain groups of wrestlers. Like let's say some writer may be responsible for like 3 or 4 talents, right? I don't know exactly because the information I'm getting is like from the past. So they may have changed things, but like people would be assigned certain talents. So you would be able to develop stuff. That's why that lady Peppermint or whatever that was working with Sasha Banks, now she's over in AEW. Same deal, right? She probably had to write for 3 or 4 different women. So anyways, you can get consistency with that, right? Now the problem is back then you could try to be consistent with all your talents and come up with stuff for him, but when you hand it to Vince, he's just going to rip it up anyway and do what he wants. So it's pointless.
Right.
If you give it to Triple H, I'm sure he'll go with it for a little while. And if it doesn't work, he'll probably suggest some changes, but he's going to give you a chance to work out whatever story you want to come up with. Right. So if you're handing me a paper and it says like this person attacks this person or does some criminal act to this person, then I'm going to be like, okay, but now we have to follow up with the consequence of that. So this person's getting suspended and you're not going to be able to write for them anymore. So I'm going to take some of this out of your pay because since you're not working as hard because you don't have to write for Kevin Owens this week, I'm going to take a percentage of your paycheck, right? You get the week off.
Incentive to get better even? Right,
yeah,
I get you.
Yeah, he's getting suspended and you have to pay for it. Let's see how many times you write a backstage attack after that.
Can you imagine if they implemented that shit? I'm telling you, there'd probably be a writer's strike in wrestling if that was to happen.
Yeah,
right?
obviously I'm being ridiculous, right? But I'm just saying like start with that, follow up on your consequences. Okay. If you've done something, what would happen in the real world? Even if it's movies and TV, people get arrested and go to jail in the story. So
right, exactly.
Why wouldn't it happen in wrestling? Why is everybody okay with it? You know, who wants to show up to work and get jumped when you fight for a living? I don't want to fight for free. Why would I want to fight you for free, bro? I barely want to fight you for money, but now I want to fight you for free.
Oh boy. No, you're right. It's common sense, dude. It really is, but it's not to a lot of people. And look, man, you remind everybody that it's little things that need to be done. And like you said, they need to dial that shit back. But back to that match, though. Talk about dial back.
You wanted to say something about what happened, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, it was a train wreck. It was a fun train wreck. The one thing I will say, though, at least they were telling a story in the match. It wasn't all for nothing. Like, what I mean by that, you could disagree with me on this, but when you watch an AEW train wreck, right, for example, that involves Moxley and whatnot, I feel like when they do it, when they attempt to do shit, there's no psychology in the match or anything. I felt like in this match, there was psychology, there was storytelling in the match, right, itself. And that's what I enjoyed the most. And, of course, Tangaloa re-debuting. I could have sworn that was, wasn't that Camacho?
That's Camacho. I didn't recognize him without his shiny lowrider tricycle.
Yeah, where's that? He should have rode out with his tricycle, but he didn't. But I guess it's a miracle. He's not Camacho, it seems. But anyway, when he came now, did I say this on the air? I know I told you off the air. I don't think I said it on the air, right? Apparently, he botched his spot when he came out. You couldn't tell on television though, which was cool. I didn't notice it. I don't know if you did. But there is footage out there that shows him come out late where the ref literally had to back himself out of the ring or started before he counted 3. Luckily that he did that, because imagine if he counted 3, what would have happened, or didn't? There would have been an uproar either way. So credit to the WWE producers in the back. And when I say producers, I'm talking about the TV guys in the truck that, changed the camera. Like, they made it look like nothing happened. But unfortunately, fans do have phones, which means cameras, and that shit comes out. And that's a bit of a detriment to the business. This is what I hate about social media, because we don't really need to see the botch when it comes to that. We shouldn't even know about it. But unfortunately, with everybody having a camera phone, we're all going to fucking know about it. So, I mean, what's your say on that? Is it a bigger deal? Because people are making a big deal out of it. They're shitting on Tangaloa for the way he fucked that spot up.
Oh, was there a question there?
Well, basically, my question is, like I said, it was a detriment. It's a detriment to the business. Should we be shitting on this spot when on television it didn't look like there was an issue? You know what I mean? Even though there was.
I mean, no. But, I mean, you can't control what these people do. There'd be a lot of things we wouldn't know about if it wasn't for people with their fan cameras. And sometimes I feel like the wrestling industry still hasn't caught up to that fact. Even in terms of things like, so you're calling a guy up, let's say from NXT, right? And you have him do a job on the way out. Well, in the old days, no one would have seen that. Now they are seeing it. So it's like, why would I want this loser here? Like, why are you calling up Carmelo Hayes? Why aren't you calling up Trick Williams? Like, that's what you would think. Like, and I before any smartass says champions are protected, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, like, in general, if this was real, first of all, if this was a real draft, nobody would be going to any show. It would all be drafts from NXT, right?
Yeah. What
like,
do you think?
that's what a draft is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like,
spot on.
Do NFL players go back to college? So that's what I mean.
WWE, they do.
Yeah, WWE, they do. So
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, we're already, messing things up with that. But now when somebody like does the favors on the way out, that's national TV. Everyone can see it. It's not just for like the local crowds or whatever anymore. Now everybody sees it. So now they see a loser show up on SmackDown, a loser show up on Raw. So even from that aspect, like, they don't even think about that anymore. So they damn sure ain't going to think about like, hey, a fan could record this. Like, anytime they do something stupid or do something just for a live audience or whatever, it's like, somebody's going to record it and it's going to get out there. So everything you do has to be with that in mind. You have to know somebody's going to put it out there now, and you have to be more careful with what you do now. But yeah, fans are never going to want to, it's the same, it's the same deal. You're on social media just to put yourself over. You don't care about any of these people, their livelihood, their well-being. You're not interested in that. You're just trying to get, interactions on your profile. So you're going to put out whatever you can get. And that's great. Now,
Facts.
Yeah. And Tangaloa has been kind of, he's been missing a lot of spots lately. He had a bad injury like a while ago, and he came back fat and slow, and he just really hasn't been himself.
No shit.
Yeah. And he had a match in he did have one. The best match he had so far was against Great O'Khan for the King of Pro Wrestling title, where they were having like a pot sticker eating contest. That was
you're telling me that's bad, dude.
That was pretty good. No, that's different. I was telling you about a lemon eating contest.
Oh yeah, that's right. Guy. That's right. The lemon. Right.
This time, this was before that. They were sitting there eating pot stickers, and So yeah, maybe he still had a few undigested pot stickers, and that's why he couldn't make it to the spot in time. Or maybe because if he didn't have his tricycle, and he had to use his feet. Either way, it's rough.
Maybe he should have rode so that way he loses some weight. You know what I mean? But in saying that, the thing about Polynesian men and women, I guess, they got to be careful all their lives, dude, because if they don't exercise, they blow up in 2 seconds, dude. They become fat, man. Like, I've seen it with so many of my friends, man. They'd have such good bodies, right? The second they just stop doing what they're doing, bang, they become not as big as Yokozuna, but damn. I mean, the number one killer for Polynesians is, like, heart attacks, basically. Yeah, diabetes, cholesterol, you name it. No, but really, they'll tell you the same thing. But I'm not going to get into that for now. But Aaron Ben Shlomo, the king of 2K24, apparently, says, Vet, if you are creative, what do you do with Tangaloa and Tamatonga?
Well, that's so funny. Because I would do the least creative thing ever. I would just reunite the Gorillas of Destiny and have them be
That's it. Simple. But it is that simple, right? No, really. Like, it really is. I guess that's what they're going to do. If you notice, they're signing tag teams, it seems. So I'm 100% certain they're going to do that. And I'm cool with that. Because I would do the same thing. What else would you do? What impresses me, though, about the Tangaloa re-debut, whatever you want to call it. Actually, I shouldn't even say that. He didn't exist before. He was Camacho. But what impressed me, I heard no like dirt sheet saying that he's in a building or he got spotted. No one knew about this, Vet. That's what impressed me the most.
Right. Yeah. These days, trying to keep a secret, you can't really do it. You can't even keep a fan from shooting footage of a guy messing up a spot. So
yeah,
hard to see. I guess the fan didn't catch him going in the building, but
they probably didn't know who the fuck he was.
Yeah, exactly, and then they still didn't. But I mean, that's fine. No, it's kudos to them for keeping it a secret. But like you said, it's also probably like, nobody. That's just That's just some guy.
I mean, did they really react when you think about it?
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? And it's nothing against Tangaloa, but they were in France. If it was in the US, maybe I'm sure there would have been a section that knew who the hell he was. You know what I mean? But we were in France. I don't know how. Sorry, continue.
That's the problem. It's people don't know, and I think it's important that, like, even if you're not going to know who they are when they appear, they should be doing a better job of teasing something. So that even if you don't know, that you still know something's coming and that you probably should know, Well,
the tease, I guess, is getting Tamatonga to join WWE. Really, because then you got to think of his brother. But even and it's funny, before I get to that, Elizabeth said they acknowledged they were gods, so there is hope. They said it in a tongue-in-cheek way, though, Liz. It was kind of like an Easter egg, like if you know, you know. They didn't say Gorillas of Destiny. They just said something about God, but not in that context.
They can say whatever the hell they want. New Japan ain't gonna turn down no publicity, bro.
Oh no, absolutely not.
And it's funny too, because if anybody saw the
right, there we go. They also said it was Destiny. That's what they meant too.
Yeah. If anybody saw the pre-show with like Big E and Punk and
I didn't see it.
Yeah, Big E and Punk and what's her name?
The one? Redmond.
Yeah, Jackie. She's like Big E said something about like talking about Tamatonga and saying like, man, this guy is he's been in New Japan for years. He's been tearing it up. And Punk was like, whoa, can you say that? It's like, I'm sorry. I'm used to working here 10 years ago. You weren't allowed to say things. I'm still not sure where the line is.
And you know what? They seem to have a free reign now to talk other companies, even in interviews. They're not holding back anymore, which is awesome. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, which you should too. Right? Like, why would you want to downplay somebody's accomplishments if you don't? That was one of the things, because you would always hear guys like Bruce Pritchard say, like, it doesn't matter what you did before you got here, right? Like that whole attitude, which is like, well, then why did you bring them in?
Right?
Why'd you bring them in if it doesn't matter? Like, so you mean you just take anybody off the street? Like, you might as well. You know, why do you want to talk about somebody's football career? Why do you want to talk about somebody's other wrestling appearances? Why do you want to talk about whatever these people might have accomplished? Then why would I care if you signed them? Like, why do you want them if you don't care about what they did? You should be bragging about it. Look what we signed. We signed an Olympic gold medalist. Can you imagine if you said to Kurt Angle, it doesn't matter if you won an Olympic gold medal. This is the WWF. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. You know, like the arrogance.
Yeah, I know, it's true. 100%. If it was Vince, it would be that way.
Yeah, so tell me how many times these guys won the IWGP tag team titles. Make sure you beat it into my head till I'm sick of hearing like how good they are as a tag team. Then they can be a tag team. Then they can dominate the tag team scene on WWE, and they can reestablish the tag team division. And then other teams can get in, and people will be like, God, who's going to beat the Gorillas of Destiny? Is it going to be this team? Oh, so close. Is it going to be this team? Oh, they almost had them. You know, like, you get people interested in tag team wrestling. Maybe they'd be a good fit to just like to dominate for a while and seem like they're never going to come off the top of the mountain. Kind of like the Usos did for a while there. And then we saw how that turned out. It got to be a tag team title match main eventing a night of WrestleMania. So if you do it right,
and that took years of grinding.
Yeah, you can get people excited about that stuff. So
for sure, no, definitely.
You know, they can almost go full Bullet Club now. And Labrat saying everybody thought Jacob Fatu was going to show up. Like, yeah, but if he did, people know even less of him than they know of Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, because at least Tonga Loa even had a WWE run at one point.
Right. Everyone was like, hey, it's Camacho. No. But no, for real, it's funny, Labrat, everyone thought that. I said on the Smack Attack that I actually said someone's going to debut. You can go back on the Smack Attack and actually listen to that. I said someone is going to make a debut in this match to cause, you know, to make the Bloodline win the match. And people saying Jacob Fatu in the chat. I'm like, no, it's not going to be Jacob Fatu, though. I don't know who it's going to be, but it won't be Jacob. But it wasn't Jacob. It was Tangaloa. So that was, look, for me, I got excited seeing that. I won't lie. I was hyped. I'm like, oh, my God. You know what I mean? Like like I said, predicted that shit. I was like, what the fuck? And I was poo-pooing it. I was like, nah, man, he's not gonna turn up, blah, blah, and I guess I was wrong. But I'm happy to be wrong. So that's cool and all. But there was another thing in the chat. Oh, yeah, Cold-Blooded. You talk about going full Bullet Club now. All we need is one more guy. And I'm not talking about Hikuleo. I'm talking about Bad Luck Fale. And ironically, it is the 11th year anniversary of the Bullet Club. Too sweet me, vet. Come on. Pow. There you go. Not the slap that AJ did, which was brilliant to me. But, you know, the thing is, if they do bring in, say, Bad Luck Fale, I feel like there's going to be too many Tongans suddenly in the bloodline, if that makes sense, right? Does it turn into a, you know, if you want to have realism, Tongans and Samoans historically don't really like each other. Sure, they're the same race of people as in Polynesians, which they are technically, right? But they're not the same ethnicity, and there is a rivalry. And by the way, Tongans don't call each other Us. Their version is Toko. So Us equivalent is Toko. So I wonder if they play up on that.
We could have a bloodline war, you know, a war of bloodlines. Right. Like, why not?
So is that what we're going? Could WWE possibly be thinking that way and have Solo and his Tongan crew, right? And they kind of try to infiltrate the actual bloodline and become the leaders of this so-called bloodline.
I could see Paul Heyman like pitching this. Couldn't you see him like trying to sell people on the idea? Like,
oh, for sure, definitely.
If I may, sir.
If I may, sir.
We have a rich history in Samoa and a rich history from the Isle of Tonga.
The Isle of Tonga, exactly.
And perhaps they can unite for a common cause and then erupt into violence against each other.
Dude, it'll be ugly because Tongans are known to bite. That's why I love about, you know, Tama Tonga biting freaking Kevin Owens and shit. Not only is it a throwback to his dad in Haku, but they are known to be mongrels, dude. They'll bite your ear off, no problem in a fight. Samoans are a little more tame. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. But if they do go that way, that would be mighty interesting. But at the same time, I'd love to see this huge Polynesian bloodline. The only problem is, where do you go, though? If you have so many guys, it sort of turns into the NWO of 97, right? Where you just had every motherfucker in the company, and it just becomes, NWO versus WCW. And like Cold Blooded said, it will be an island warfare at WrestleMania. Or do you have it a Royal Rumble? You have that many Polynesians. You have a Royal Rumble of Tongans and Samoans, for supremacy. Imagine that, or Survivor Series. That'd be interesting too. Or a War Games match. Even better, dude. I mean, it sells itself. Can we possibly go that route? Like you said, Hamin would be pitching this for sure. And I'm sure the Samoans and the Tongans will probably be pitching it because it makes sense. The only thing is, I don't think most people around the world even know the history between Tongans and Samoans.
Well, that's what I was saying. You tell them.
Right.
You have how many hours of TV time per week that you could tell them? So instead of showing me a recap of what you did last week, why don't you tell me about what's going on now?
Right. No, for sure.
It's pretty simple.
Labrat says better luck getting Hikuleo than bad luck. No, I think Hikuleo, I heard they're interested in Hikuleo too, but he's pretty green even now still, even though he's been around for a while.
He has a job.
Yeah, New Japan. But what's his contract status, do you know?
Nobody knows.
Do you think WWE might have even bought out Tangaloa's contract? Because I heard he was still signed with New Japan.
Well, you'd have to think, why would his contract and Tama Tonga's contract be too far apart, right? They shouldn't be that far apart. They've always been kind of together, even when they were apart. So it could have been one of those deals, because remember I was telling you got hurt, and maybe it was one of those deals where they added time,
Possibly.
Maybe it was that.
Boy, is New Japan getting absolutely washed out, dude. I mean, with all the talent that's going, it's sad, dude. It's horrible. I don't remember a time where it was this savage, dude. I think back to when the Good Brothers and AJ came up and Nakamura all in one swoop. That was bad then, but this is potentially, it's not going to happen, but it could potentially kill a company by how many wrestlers.
Dolph Ziggler is injecting a lethal dose of poison.
Oh, God, please. Well, he's in New Japan now, Riddle as well, but it's not the same thing, dude. It's just, this is
too
the
many
core,
white dudes
bro.
in New Japan. I don't like
way too many white dudes. But the actual core of New Japan has been caught out, dude. For real.
Yeah, it is,
and it's sad to see.
Too bad.
Well, Liz says in the chat it will end up being something like Roman with his group versus Rock with a group. Well, it makes sense because The Rock is actually close to the Tongans, so it makes total sense. He's very close with Haku. I don't know how close he is with
not as close as Haku's adopted sons.
Well, yeah. Well, one's adopted, which is Tama Tonga. Loa is actually his actual biological son. So he's Hikuleo. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Tama Tonga, his story is actually kind of sad, dude. If you look into it. But yeah. I consider that. I consider him like his blood son. I mean, he's had him since he was a baby. But, that's cool that Haku even did that. And the funny thing about Tama Tonga, he got him from overseas, from Tonga, and brought him to the US. So, if you look into that, there's a story behind all that shit too. But,
I hope they tell it to us on WWE television.
They won't mention that. There's no way they'll mention that. You know that.
Tell us.
Very few people even know that he's the adopted son of Haku.
Well, they need to tell us.
I guarantee they will never bring it up.
What else are you going to do?
Yeah, they won't do it. You know it. You know it. I know it. The listeners know it. I don't even know how many people in the chat even knew that, but
they might.
It's
might
true.
Do it. It's time to do it.
You think so?
It's
reality era, right? Bring cops back for crying out loud too. God damn it. Anyway, was there any other? And folks, remember, ask us some questions. So far, only Aaron has. So whatever you want to know, just go ahead and ask. Don't be shy. Anyway, for me, though, that match was probably my favorite of all of the Backlash matches, only because of the implications. You know what I mean? I thought it started really hot. And look, everything was hot because of the fans per se, but you know, I just felt like this match got me most excited just by the finish and everything. We'll talk about finishes. The table, man, the table wouldn't break, dude. Look, I mean, that was almost cringe because they kept trying, and then they just gave up, which I don't blame them. But it wouldn't break. Yeah. What the hell would they reinforce? Is it French wood?
Yep, that's it.
You know what? I was having this talk with D. I go, there's got to be some sort of like screw or something like you could pull out. You might know, Vec, since you were in the business. What's the gimmick to make the table break other than building it so it does break?
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just
I
curious,
never cared about any of that.
Well, neither did I until yesterday. I started thinking about it because of what D said. So
the iron table.
Yeah, the iron table. But it didn't break, so that is what it is. In other matches, we haven't spoken about Priest and Jey Uso other than his entrance, which looked amazing on television. I'll say that. But what do you think of the matchup in general?
I don't know. It would have been interesting to see if they actually would do a switch. Cause like fuck Damian Priest, you don't owe him anything. Like they just take the belt right off him and put it on Jay. Like I was wondering if they might do that, but they didn't.
I wouldn't be mad either.
I didn't care for the match.
Yeah, neither did I. Actually, I felt this match was probably the least I actually paid attention to, if you know what I mean. The entrance was great, but I don't know, I didn't find these two really clicked on many levels. But then at the end, you had a tease of Damian Priest basically right now is getting like power hungry because he's the champion, right? And without Mummy being around, he seems to be the leader. But with him teasing, I don't want to say teasing a babyface turn, but what he did at the end was kind of pretty babyface. Why would you tell your boys not to hit on Jey Uso? And enough, he's saying to both of them, what's going on here? Are we getting him becoming a babyface? Or I don't even have a clue because he has traits on both ends right now. So I don't know what they're really trying to do other than like a friction.
I'm not sure. I don't really think it just seems like a weird position because I get the feeling like they never wanted this, but they were kind of forced into it with the money in the bank.
That's on them, you know what I mean? But they had to do something, but it was just the wrong time.
Yeah. So, but I don't know, like what would be the Judgment Day? The whole thing with Judgment Day is weird because they only like certain people at certain times out of it.
Right.
It was like first they hate everybody except Rhea Ripley. Now Rhea Ripley's gone. So what do they feel? They need to have one baby face in there at all times. So they just make Damian Priest. Oh yeah. That guy, Damian Priest, he does actually have a heart of gold, even though he beat the shit out of R-Truth how many times or had someone else do it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, dude. I don't like it. Just, I don't know. It just feels very, silly and rushed, and I don't know what they're trying to do, but whatever, they can keep doing what they're doing. But I felt like this match wasn't that crash hot. Obviously you didn't either, and there was one more match that we do need to talk about, and that is Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton and Naomi. Again, Bayley was mega over, so was Tiffy. No one seemed to give a shit about Naomi, but
they did. They still did the chant. Like,
yeah, they still did with the song,
fist pump thing.
Right? But that's it's like her conducting and them just go You know what I mean?
I mean, they did it.
That's true. They did do it. But what do you think of the matchup overall, anyway?
Not good. It was like the same, similar to the other matches on the show. Overly produced, let's say. Like you had these women running these spots that they kept messing up. So, but I mean, it's tough to do a triple threat match. I mean,
right? That's true. Sonic the Hedge Rat in the chat says it's mad weird, but WWE looking for an excuse to bring back Demon Finn for merch equals dollars. I mean, look at the guy. He's a little tiny fucking guy, man. Him as a demon to me makes me laugh. I'm sorry. It kind of does.
It looks a Bullet Club member.
See, I don't know what it is though. The perception when he was Bullet Club though, it was different to what he is now. Do you know what I mean? Even as the demon in Bullet Club.
Well,
you know, I'd say bring back the Prince Devitt, because Devitt is like a demon anyway. Devitt, you know what I mean?
The whole, to me, if you ask me, the whole Judgment Day thing is whack. I just never liked it. Not for 1 second, not ever. It's corny to me.
Yeah, it is. It is. But they did at one stage get back on track where it was kind of entertaining because they just force fed it. You know, every week they just kept going. It kept going.
No, it was never entertaining. Sorry. You just
really? You don't like it? Yeah,
maybe I was used to it. How many times can you have these guys sit back and say, you need to go out there and take care of Judgment Day business. We run this show. That's all they ever say every single week. There's never anything different.
Not just that. What are they? To me, they come across more like a biker gang than a fucking demonic crew, if that makes any sense. Does it not? Look what they're wearing. They're wearing the freaking biker, you know, like vests and shit. Like, they're essentially fucking bikers, you know what I mean? Without their bikes. I mean, that's what they look like to me.
Or some tricycles.
Tricycles. Well, Zane Vicious, the master and ruler of the world, says the Irish Mob is coming. Oh, great. We're going to get a lot of Tiny Tims coming to the ring. Is that what we're getting? And he also says, Womp that trick is coming. Not whoop, but womp. Anyway, that was Backlash in Lyon, Francois. And, you know, it is what it is. It was, but look, for me, the fans made the show. That's why I enjoyed it, just for the fans alone, which made everyone else sort of, you know, pretty pumped up. But really, it was, you know, if the fan base wasn't there, it would have been a nothing show. And to be fair, where the timeline that it was booked on, like literally 2 weeks, they had to build a show, just doesn't make sense. You can't build anything in 2 weeks. But they did, whatever reason, if you want to call it a build.
Yeah, I wouldn't give them an excuse just for the simple fact that, I mean, yeah, it was 2 weeks from, you know, WrestleMania or whatever, but it's still, still like they had time to think about it before that, where they were going to go after. You know, they have time to lay all this stuff out. So
I just felt like they should have booked it, say, 2 more weeks from now.
It would have been nice. But I mean,
but
that's probably just a, you know, it's probably a logistics thing. Like this arena is available at this time.
That's
so
what
let's
it would
go
have
there
been.
Then and get it. Some of this stuff
100%.
does have to be booked in advance, and then they kind of have to. They can worry about the creative later.
You know what's funny? One thing I did notice before we move on, how nice is backstage at that arena, dude. It seemed like it was like very well done. Like the locker rooms and just all the space backstage just seemed top notch compared to all of our arenas. God damn.
Yeah. I like to see more different, you know, like when you're at the venues, like show what's unique about that venue. You know, shoot your backstage stuff in certain areas that look especially cool. I think they're doing a little bit better job of that, showcasing like the venue, but they could do even more.
Did you notice with the venue setup, it was kind of weird, dude. Like, I don't know if there was portable bleachers, right? But it felt like there was, because there was like sections of right in the corner. Like there would have been people there that could not see. They had people almost right behind the set, which was odd. How the fuck are you going to see anything from that spot? But also there was bleachers that sort of ran diagonally instead of straight, if that made sense, which makes me think, was that a portable? It might have not been, but if it's not, what a weird setup. I'm assuming that's a basketball arena. But
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what do they normally use that building for?
I'm pretty sure it is for basketball, but Lyon as a basketball club ain't really big. You know what I mean? So, because the European teams mainly, it's sort of the same bunch. The best European basketball teams are your Greek teams, your Serbian, Turkish, Spain, and Lithuania, believe it or not. So those kind of countries that win the Euro League all the time. But as far as France goes, they're not really known to be, I mean, they love basketball, but they're not like those countries when it comes to basketball. But anyway, let's move on from there. There was something else I wanted to bring up, dude, but now I've kind of forgotten. I need to go back to a few things. Oh, also, I was watching What Happened When, actually, Vet, with Tony Schiavone. And it's funny because, you know how our very own Vince Russo gets the blame for David Arquette winning the WCW World Heavyweight Championship? And to Vince's credit, he never ratted out Tony, never blamed anyone else, right? From every time I've heard him talk about it. But get this, it wasn't Russo's idea, as a matter of fact. It was Schiavone's idea, and he's the one that pitched it to Vince Russo. And he actually took the rap. He came out with it and said it. And so he goes, there you go. It wasn't Vince. It was me that pitched it to Vince. And basically Vince looked at Tony and said, you know what? That's a good idea. And went along with it. And that's how it all went down. So the fact that it was Schiavone's idea, I mean, is it anything you take from that?
I don't know. I've known that for a long time. So
oh, you knew that? Oh, wow. Why didn't I fucking know that?
Wait a minute. So you're just finding this out?
Yeah, I just found that out. I never knew that, man.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, I knew that a long time ago.
Has Russo said that before?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He said it. He said it. Schiavone said it. Everybody said it. I don't know why they're saying it again. Is it like an anniversary? Like,
I have no idea, man. It just started playing for no reason. I was watching something on YouTube, and that was the next video that just played, and then I heard it, so I just stayed with it. You know what I mean?
One thing I always wondered though, because they never really make it clear, because it seems like they don't want to talk about it for any length of time. But the one thing I was never sure is like, is Tony Schiavone like pitching this as a legitimate idea, or is it one of those things where he just says something ridiculous and doesn't think? He thinks everybody's going to laugh at it, but they end up going with it. You know what I mean? Like, did he sarcastically pitch the idea?
That's I have no idea how it happened, but look, if WCW wasn't going so bad at the time, I don't think it would have gotten as much hate as it does. But because the product was so bad during that time, I think that's why it didn't get any sort of, positive reaction to it. So if,
there was a lot of desperation going on in WCW around that time, because you had like Russo, then Bischoff, then Russo and Bischoff, and they're all trying to do whatever they can to like keep WCW from getting dismantled, but it didn't matter what they did because that was always going to happen. Right. So, I wonder, had they just, instead of trying to hotshot everything, like maybe if they had just tried to book it normally, since it was going to get shut down anyway, maybe people wouldn't have looked back and thrown so much blame at different people at different times, Yeah,
no, you're right, for sure, man. But it's funny that I never knew that. Maybe I did know, but subconsciously, I don't know, I might have forgotten about it. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Also, I'm sure you watched Dynamite this past week, right, Vet?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the whole Kenny Omega and the Elite? Now, I know this is going to sound stupid, right? But after watching Backlash and then seeing, I saw Dynamite first, but when you compare it, it just feels like this AEW storyline just comes across as just childish and silly. But I will say this. I thought Kenny done his best promo ever in North America, bro. Because it wasn't your typical... And when I say that, I'm talking about the delivery. Not what he was talking about. It's how he delivered the promo. Because, usually he'd be like, hey, Vet, You know, I'm gonna go after you, and you know, and he stretches his fucking. You know what I'm talking about, right? This time he came across as real. He wasn't doing any of that bullshit. He just got to the point, and he killed it. In my opinion, I thoroughly enjoyed how he delivered it. As far as the storyline goes, this is just child's play.
I guess. Like, they're trying.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. The positive part is, and I'll say this for AEW and TK, at least they're trying to tell stories. Whether they tell stories, like, you know, whether they know how to tell a story, that's a whole different subject. But at least they're trying, and I'll give him some kudos for that.
Yeah. It's just, you know, I don't know. Is it too little too late?
Probably.
I don't really, the whole, I don't, I just have no comment. No comment. No comment.
No comment? Not even for the scapegoat?
Not even for the scapegoat.
Should he come out with a goat's head?
The guy that's
time?
the same size as Tony Khan. Yeah, no comment.
I know. But what do you do with Jungle friggin' Goat right now?
Well, me? Oh, I would have fired him for a shoot.
Yeah, I know. So would I. I would have fired him. I wouldn't have even hired him, dude. Straight up.
Yeah,
exactly.
But
you know, but say you got no other choice. He's still under contract. If you had to do something with him, what would you do other than job him out?
No, I mean, whatever they're doing, like the elite deal, like that's fine. That's fine if that's what they want to do. It's good enough. I don't know. It's not gonna like swing the momentum in any direction or another. But I just, you know, I think for their fans, they'll kind of go along with it. You know, like
they think it's the best thing.
Having the villain authority figures. I wonder where we've seen that.
Oh, I wonder. Dude, you know, I told you, it amuses me because I truly think there's some sort of cultish mind games going on with their fan base, because there is literally some accounts on the X that absolutely love every single thing in AEW. Like, the storytelling runs deep and blah, blah. Like, it's laughable. Like, I'm trying to, like, be in their heads. Like, how and why? Like, they truly mean it, too. This is what's bizarre. Everything that AEW does is money. And apparently it's all the WWE stands that are killing this product. You know, but you know what's funny? They can't sell out the arenas, right? But all these fans complain, these AEW fans. How about you all turn up to your own company that you so adore and fill out the fucking joint? Because it's clearly they're not even turning up, but they're complaining all the time.
That's a good point. I mean, you vote with your wallet, but how do we know that? How do we know that all the people that are there aren't those same people? Like, maybe that's just the amount of people that there are that feel like that in each individual city.
You're probably right. Well, apparently now also rumors going around, and he's back to WWE. Cody Rhodes is bound to have some B-level feuds now, I bet. Whatever that means. That's literally the headline.
Okay. He's bound to? Like, he has no choice?
That's the headline, bro. I don't know where they come up with this shit, but that's what they're saying. I don't know what to think of that. What's a B-level feud? He's going to go after, I don't know, fucking Cross. Cross is going to be number one contender.
Yeah, are they lumping AJ in with that? Does that count as a B-level feud? Because, you know, AJ was a big deal for a long time, you know?
Absolutely. And I wouldn't even look at it that way, even though WWE probably look at it that way, right? But what they are lumping in is Kevin Owens and Logan Paul possibly feuding with Cody Rhodes. Which doesn't make sense for Kevin Owens, though, because right now he's in the middle of, you know, the Bloodline storyline.
Well, Kevin Owens is like, why do you want to put him against Cody? Right?
I have no idea, right? We're gonna just keep hot-shotting him all the time?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
But Logan Paul, there's something there. You know,
Logan, definitely. Absolutely. Heck, I would even have a champion versus champion match. I mean, would you be mad if Cody, he is Mr. America, let's be honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it only makes sense for Cody to become the United States champion also. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, even if you just did like a non-title exhibition for some,
All that. Or we can have, WrestleMania 6 all over again. Champion versus champion. Title versus title. Remember when Vince would say that? It's WrestleMania. And off to WrestleMania 6 we went. I mean, seriously, think about it. He loves coming out with all the American stuff. Him being US champion. I know it's probably going to make the fans turn real quick like this. But it would suit it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we need to do all that, but just something. My point is, I wouldn't consider that a B-level feud. I mean,
neither would I.
Why would it be? Say. Especially since Logan Paul's already main evented a show against Roman Reigns once. So
yeah, I know. I don't understand these dirts, man.
What constitutes an A level to fans then? If that's not,
I have no idea, bro. I'm only reading what I'm reading, literally on the dirt sheets. But
okay.
One thing that is true, I guess, and I've always had this feeling, but I believe this guy. Did you hear about what's his name? Let me go back there for a minute. Jimmy Smith going off about Ronda Rousey.
Who?
Jimmy Smith. Remember him, the former Raw commentator that Triple H apparently fired, even though he was half decent, the MMA guy. You don't remember Jimmy Smith?
Vaguely.
You will know who I'm talking about if you see him. He was basically an MMA commentator that they chose to become the new Raw play-by-play guy about 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Do you remember? Yeah. I felt he was good. He didn't know much about wrestling in general, but just the way he would deliver shit, I felt was good enough, and he was getting better. Yeah. I guess Triple H didn't feel that way. And the way he got fired, according to him, was kind of low blow. But he went off on Ronda Rousey, dude. And former UFC and WWE commentator Jimmy Smith went off on Ronda Rousey on his Unlocking the Cage podcast. Smith said Rousey always wants all the credit and none of the blame, pointing out how she never gave credit to the fighters who beat her in the octagon. Facts. And instead blames the losses on CTE, which I saw her say that. He also said that Ronda was so horrible to production people at UFC and WWE that were cheering when she got knocked out. There are some people you can be mean to and rude to, and they can't fight back. Those people couldn't stand Ronda Rousey, apparently. Interesting. Not just her. Holly Holm also was going off on her, but I can see that with Ronda Rousey, Vet. She just comes across as entitled, full of excuses, full of shit. You know what I mean? And apparently, there was talk. Look, let's talk about some of the releases, actually. There was a whole bunch, because it has to do with Ronda Rousey. Drew Gulak is one release that I guess, that doesn't surprise me anyway, especially after all the accusations of Ronda Rousey and how he apparently just walked up to her and slapped her on the backside or some shit. Or the elastic on her tights. Well, you didn't hear about this?
No, I know about this one, but I'm having trouble putting it together based on his explanation and what would have happened. He apparently he said he went in for a handshake and he accidentally pulled her drawstring.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Like on her sweats.
On her bottoms though.
Well, yeah. I mean, where else would it be? Where else do you have a drawstring, right? So, but how could you be so close to somebody that when you raise your hand for a handshake, you're already up in their sweatpants drawstring? It seems kind of weird. I don't know why he would do that, but I also don't know why she would make that up. I really don't know what to think about it because I wasn't there.
We weren't there.
Both accounts sound kind of fishy.
Well, he did come out with it and say it was an accident, actually. So that sounds kind of weird also. How is that an accident? Like,
I couldn't imagine doing that. Like, normally if I shake somebody's hand, I can't speak for every other expert out there, but when I shake somebody's hand, I'm usually at least an arm's length away. So there's not going to be how close would you have to be in somebody's face that when you move your hand up, you catch the drawstring, right? Sounds like he's full of shit, but I just never looked at him as like a guy like that. Also, what would he have been like? What kind of a rib would that be? Like if he's ribbing her,
I have no idea, dude. To me, that seems, I don't know, bro. It just seems weird. Isn't that weird? It's weird. You don't do that.
You don't do it. Whatever it is, it's weird. You don't do it.
Right. So, but that leads us to Triple H, though, and I'm sure you saw this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mike Minor says that's all speculation. Don't play spam. Actually, it's not. He came out and said he did do that, but it was an accident. So that's according to him.
I don't recall blaming anybody.
Right. We're just saying what's reported over here. But anyway, that leads us to Triple H and the press conference after Backlash. And he got asked that by one of the French reporters. I couldn't believe this. This made me cringe. But then again, if you're going to do these fucking presses, expect to be asked these shit. Don't get upset. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So this guy literally said straight out. So I heard Drew Gulak was, released. Does it have anything to do with what happened with Ronda Rousey and what she said? And Triple H kind of got upset. He put down PW Insider and said they're not fucking, they're not a real news site. You know, they don't know what they're talking about. They never talk truths. They're basically bullshit. And it pissed him off so much that he ended the presser right there and then. After he got asked that question, he was like, fuck this, I'm done. What do you know what I mean? If you're Triple H, why get upset for, man? Like, you're doing this press conference. A lot of people, do we need this in pro wrestling, in the fake world of pro wrestling, right? You're only like making yourself look worse every time you do this shit. I enjoy him personally, but if you look at it from a bigger picture sense, it doesn't really make sense to do this shit, especially if you have a shoot bunch of journalists asking you legit questions. What do you think is going to happen? Do you know what I mean?
I agree. I think, I've been saying this ever since they did it. Like,
right. No,
why do you go out and put on a work show, then come back immediately and answer shoot questions? I said that about the scrums, and I said that about these press conferences. It's the same exact thing. They just call it different things.
Right.
And I just don't think that it's extra content, right? It's content for AEW's YouTube channel, and it's content for Peacock, right? So
well, AEW should have really,
it.
Yeah. Well, AEW should have learned their lesson back in Brawl Out. After that happened, I would have stopped doing that shit. Period. You know what I mean? But clearly, no one learns their lessons. Yeah.
He went all in.
Anyway, that was that. And then is there any other significant news, man? Because otherwise we can pretty much take it home. And apparently Nick Khan didn't sell all his stocks, so that was all bullshit. Apparently, I don't know what to think anymore, but whatever.
Wasn't it that he put them up for sale but hasn't sold any?
Some shit like that, dude. Some shit like that. Also, though, Eric Rowan has re-signed with WWE, obviously, for this Uncle Howdy, Wyatt 6, whatever you want to call it, thing. I don't know. I've never been a fan of Rowan, man. I'm sorry. He's not a good worker. He doesn't even look scary to me, even though he's like fucking 6'10". I just think he's, look, don't hate me, chat, especially. I just think he's useless, bro. But I understand the significance of re-signing the guy. I get it. But that doesn't mean I'm a fan of his. Any thoughts?
Maybe they can, maybe if there's a new Wyatt family, they can sort of insert themselves into the Island feud and get like a 3-way feud going. Like Island, Swamp, right? Perfect.
Island, Swamp, right. And well, that brings us to Braun Strowman. Is it just me, or is he fatter than ever, bro? I'm sorry, but he looked fat, dude. He's not only his hair looks bad, right? You're balding, bro. Why you got a mohawk with a bald patch on your friggin', noggin? Like, I don't know, man. He looked weird to me, man, on Raw. When I saw him, I'm like, yeesh. He looks worse than the last time I saw him, man. He looked great. Just shave the head off again, man. Keep it that way. He looks more menacing. But instead, on Raw, he looked like he just woke up out of bed for real and ran to the ring.
Well, that's okay. He's been drafted, so he's in good shape. He's safe. Job security.
Good shape.
Whatever,
man. Good shape, my ass. He needs to get back into shape. Not that I can
not
talk,
that
but I'm
shape.
just saying,
I don't mean physical shape. I mean he's financial shape. He's got his. He's stealing money from the company once again.
Oh man, ridiculous. Anyway, that is really the news of the week, man. Everything else is just all speculation, like Brock Lesnar on when Brock is going to return. I do think Brock will return because they're starting to mention his name sort of here and there. So it's a matter of when, not if, he returns. And it'll happen when we least expect it too, I think. But yeah, that's about it, man. Unless there's anything else we need to speak about, Vet.
Nothing I can think of.
Well, look, I'll give the chat one more chance, but ask us some questions, peeps, please. Before we go, I know you guys have got a lot to say in the chat, but we haven't really gotten questions, you know what I mean? Is there anything you guys want to know before we do take it home? And if there is, please tell us right now before we do end it, because we'd like to know, man. Labrat's saying, Brawny's in shape. He's round. Jeez. Yeah, he's round, all right. God damn. Otherwise, yeah. Oh, hang on. It was because of the NBA Canada Space, man. That's why. The playoffs. And if Scott Woodford is still listening, congratulations to the Timberwolves beating the champion Nuggets, which is pretty crazy. Actually, this NBA playoffs is crazy in itself, dude. It's going to be a team that no one expects to win it, I think, anyway. Which is good. It's good for basketball, but this is not a basketball fucking show. You know what I mean? So that's it. But I don't know how long we give the chat about asking questions, but why would the government be taking my cows? I get it. If you're talking about Braun Strowman, maybe. Who knows?
Is the government taking Braun Strowman from you, Jimmy?
Apparently they are in the US.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, I don't know. That's always happens. The UFOs apparently come along, and you've heard all those stories, right?
Government about UFOs?
The government, they're black helicopters. The government UFOs.
They come down. They chopper out the cows.
Oh man. What do you mean, Jimmy T? Give me the aux cord so I can play some sweet chin music. Go buy one, Zane. Fuck. Then you can play it all you want. Yeah, China's is becoming politics. People want to talk politics now, Vet. But yeah, China is buying farmland, but they've done it even here, bro. All the Chinese have taken over, even in Australia, man. They're buying every house and now bidding everybody too. That's a real thing. Whether we all go to war with China, who the fuck knows? But I'm not going to talk about that.
Don't worry, we're
here.
banning TikTok, so take that.
Are you so? Is that really a thing?
I don't. We're going to try, I guess.
I remember hearing that years ago. Even here, they were going to do that, but bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know, about 4 years ago, they said it.
Dude, are you serious? Cold Blooded wants to know, is horse racing a thing in Australia? Dude, here in Melbourne, the biggest one in Australia, I know you guys got the Kentucky Derby, but it's called the Melbourne Cup, and it's so big that we get a public holiday on the day that horse racing is on. So yeah, it is a thing in Australia, dude. Melbourne has the biggest race in the whole country. So yeah, it's one of the biggest in the world too, if you look it up. Melbourne Cup, November. But anyway, I couldn't care less about horse racing unless I'm playing GTA. And I'll lose all the fucking time in GTA. That's for another story. Oh my God. You know what? I've got to answer this question because it's true. But Mike Martin wants to know, I heard there's a camel problem there, Jimmy. It's true. We have the most camels in the whole world. That's a fact, man. And yes, you get paid if you hunt them. That's no bullshit. You can thank the Arabs back in the day for bringing all these camels. In the middle of the outback, vet, no shit. Camels have gone crazy, bro. We've got the most camels in the world. People wouldn't think that, but it's true. I've never seen them personally, but they're there. Oh,
Why is
God.
it?
Because back in the day, there was a gold rush here, right? For example. So all these Arabs, Afghanis and all that came along and, they stayed. So they brought all these camels and obviously they bred out of control. They must love the outback. You know what I mean? And now we've got a problem where the government legitly will pay you. I mean, if you see videos, there's dudes like mercenary guys like in helicopters with guns, like literally on the helicopter, and it's just going wild, dude, like shooting them. It's crazy, bro. Like if you see that shit, people come from overseas to do it too. They pay you good money to do it. So it is a problem. Maybe I should get into it. But I don't like killing animals, man. I'm not even though I've been hunting when I was a kid, but it's not my thing. Yeah, there could be more to it, Mike, but I don't know, man. I only found this out a few years ago myself. I'm in Melbourne, bro. I don't see camels. You know what I mean? I'm nowhere near the outback. But, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think camels would be a city thing.
No, it's not. It's in the outback, in the desert, legit. Liz wants to know, are you better at hunting camels than y'all were ostriches? That's also true. Australia lost the war to ostriches back in the day. That's actually a fact. I'm not lying. You can look that up, Vent. It's true. But it's not what it sounds, though. It's not like it's not like we lost the war. But yeah, there's truth to it. But it's not the same thing. Basically, they couldn't kill all of them. They just kept spawning and spawning and spawning. And yeah, we got ostriches everywhere. But you don't want to fuck with the cassowaries, Liz. They're the worst type. They will kick the shit out of you. They're like gangsters, man. Look up cassowaries, vet. You'll be intrigued. No shit.
All right. I'll look that up as soon as we get off here. What did Zane Vicious want to know about the
the beef between Drake
Not
and
the
Kendrick
camel
Lamar? That's a big thing too. Yeah, about the Drake Kendrick Lamar beef. I mean, God, man, this thing is being blown up like it's the biggest thing since Biggie and Pac. I feel like this is all bullshit, dude. It's all entertainment.
Think so?
I mean, I prefer
It's a safe
Kendrick
bet,
over Drake any day. But
I haven't listened to not 1 second of it. So, like, these guys aren't my generation. So, like, the way I kind of look at guys like Drake and Kendrick is that kids listen to them. I know
true,
adults
man.
do, but like, I sort of that's beyond me. That's the point where I got too old, right? And I'm not cool anymore. So I haven't really listened to their beef, but I keep hearing people talk about it. I feel like I'm picking up bits and pieces of it. Did you listen to any of the actual tracks?
Honestly, I haven't, right? But this goes way back, yeah, because I don't really give a shit. Like you said, yeah, I've got all their albums, but I'm more into Kendrick Lamar if I had to choose anybody. Drake gets fucking, I don't know, I've never really been into Drake. His shit's just repetitive to me. You know what I mean? But Kendrick at least is kind of a throwback to like back in the day at times. Like he pays homage to it. And plus, lyrically, he's a genius. You know what I mean? There'll never be another Kendrick, but I just think there's something fishy going on with, yeah, exactly, Sonic. It seems like a manufactured beef. That's how I feel too. It just doesn't feel legit.
You're saying this
You know what I
this
mean?
beef is grown in a lab?
It could be. Well, yeah, in the lab producing fucking shit. This is a produced fucking
That was wordplay, Jimmy, on the level of
I know.
Kendrick and Drake.
That's why I said they're producing this beef in the lab, literally. Like, in the production studio. That's what this shit is. And that's all it is, man. So, Zane goes, you're a Sugar Hill Gang guy, man.
Hip to the hip hop, and you don't stop, Zane.
He's not that old, fucking. You know what I mean? Me and you are the same age, dude. When that song came out, we were friggin' in elementary school. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, pretty young, too.
But certainly more so than Drake and Kendrick. And
no,
J. Cole
definitely.
and everybody else that gets dragged into this big net. Yeah, I have not.
Well, like Sonic said, Biggie and Tupac, now that was beef for LL and Cannabis. That was beef too, but LL's a bitch for doing what he did to Cannabis. Hate to say it, man. Because what did Cannabis do, really? I know what he did, but he took it out of context. That verse he did wasn't about LL in a derogatory way. But anyway, they squashed that many years ago. But look what happened to Cannabis after that. Nothing. He's done. LL fully... Like literally,
no NCIS appearances.
He was done, bro. And Cannabis was good, man. Don't get me wrong, man. He came in hot, but fucking with LL, supposedly, out you go, Cannabis. Whoops, did I say that? No, I like Cannabis, but LL is so overrated too, man. Calling himself the greatest of all time. Anyway, people want to talk hip hop, dude. Well, why? What's going on?
I don't know. Anyway, else, I guess. Oh, by the way, before I forget, I think Labrat asked if I'd ever done the table spot, but I haven't. No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
No, I was gonna say I wouldn't really hurt anyway. I don't think. But speaking of the tables, they seem extra soft, other than the commentary tables on Backlash, because those every time, like guys were going through the table, I felt like it wasn't even like helping their impact. It just went straight through, man. It looked like it hurt, if anything. And I'm not talking about the table breaking hurt. Just there was no like softening the spot at all. So that was kind of interesting to me. But
what was the match that happened with? It was within the last couple of months where they set up a table and they laid somebody on it and it just cracked and fell over. Didn't we review a match like that? Was that on
I think
Collision?
we did. That was an AEW, yeah.
They set it up and they laid the guy on it and just went like
didn't involve FTR.
Just the weight.
I think it was FTR related. That one. It was a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
Man,
but Canada Spaceman, wasn't it in WrestleMania? What was in WrestleMania?
Was it? It could have been. Maybe I was doing a watch along on night 2 or something. But
I was with you guys
the Street Profits in the
the
Philadelphia street fight. They put.
Oh yeah, she's right. It was the Street Profits. Oh, actually, that leads me to asking you a question, Ben. Was
it Cross? Leg cross on the table and it just fell through, or was it one of the Authors of Pain? It was somebody that was way too big for the table.
Media. I happened to cross, according to Cold Blooded. Medium 5 says, I love you guys. Yes, the meds are talking this time. Good shit, pal. Well, actually, now that Medium 5 is here, I just want to say, get well soon, bud. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully you get past whatever you're going through, man. And, just hang in there, Mikey. Hang in there and you'll be fine. Anything else? Oh, yeah, I wanted to ask you one more thing before we do go. Everyone's still talking LL and Cannabis at this point. Sonic, I'll get to that in a minute. But the Street Profits, me and John were going back and forth, about this yesterday on the Smack Attack. And we both don't agree about this. And you know how it can get with me and John sometimes. John's telling me I'm wrong. I'm telling John will tell me how I'm wrong. And we just go back and forth. And then it gets nowhere. But my point is...
I have to be the deciding vote?
You got to be the deciding vote, Vet. You have to, right? So I'm going to ask you this point blank. What they're doing... Are the Street Profits like value to WWE being baby faces right now? Even though they're hot-shotting him too. They don't know what to do with him. Are they heels? Are they baby faces? But when you look at the whole so-called storyline with Bobby Lashley and all that, I feel like it's a bust.
Is that
it's a big bust? It's not a storyline. They're not even telling us anything.
Okay.
Why? Like, who the fuck are the Street Profits? The only value to me right now is having Montez go heel and literally be an arrogant prick. Because when you think about it, Montez being overly happy and all this shit just doesn't... It's just stupid to me. It's not working. The fans, apparently, according to John, the fans absolutely love the Street Profits. I don't see it that way. But They don't want them to turn heel. They just want to cheer him. But then I said, okay, if that's the case, look at the numbers during their segments then. Do people tune in for the Street Profits? Or do they tune out for the Street Profits? In my opinion, I don't know what profits they are. What are they the profits of? Like, what do you do with these guys? The street? Well, if they're Street Profits, then fuck. Instead of coming in with cups and you want to talk about smoke, right? Maybe we need to bring the smoke on them and just kill this thing, dude.
So you're basically asking me, are the Street Profits baby faces or heels for business terms?
I'm just saying that this pride shit, right? Are they lions or are they a part of something else?
Well, I think that the short answer is I think the people want to like the Street Profits.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
I think they do. Everybody wants to get hype with the Street Profits. Personally, I understand the sort of the attraction to Montez because Dawkins has always been like a guy that's trying to figure out what to do, and he's, you know, Montez kind of saved him from probably getting released years ago, I would think.
Oh, 100%, man. I mean, look, what's said to Dawkins, really? He can go in the ring, sure. So can a million other people, but would you want to see him by himself? Because ever since NXT, I remember that they stuck him and Ty Dillinger together. They didn't know what to do with either one of those guys, right? And that they were a tag team for a while. Like, it was weird. It was just like both you were teaming up just so that you could release both these guys together. But then he started doing the Perfect 10 thing, and then Montez came along and we had the Street Profits, so now they're both saved, right? For a little longer at least. And I've always just seemed like the Street Profits had all that energy and the people really like that. If you make them heels, what would make them different than every other like boring heel, right? Nothing. So, and the idea is like when they started teaming up with Bobby Lashley, I was like, are these guys heels? Because Bobby was trying to get him to stop being energetic and that's
wear
what
suits.
I'm saying. That's my point. Like, that's why the argument.
But why who wanted to see that? You know, but at the same time, how do you can't make Bobby Lashley join in with the Street Profits and what they're doing necessarily. So it's kind of a weird team up. And certainly the people that are trying to book this and make this happen, I think the easiest way to say it is they're a little out of touch with this demographic. So
I said this a million times, dude. Triple H doesn't know how to book black guys. WWE in general doesn't know how to book black guys, man. Let's be honest. They just don't understand. Like you said, they're out of touch, man. They just go with the, typical bullshit. Like, they just don't get it, man. And maybe they need to get people on the beat or some shit. Talk to these guys, man. Let them give opinions if they do or don't. I don't know. I'm sure they do have input. But Montez, doesn't he come across as that conniving fake good guy? Like, really, he's just. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I think that I see what you're seeing in Montez Ford, but I also think that Montez Ford sort of like getting hype and roasting people in a heelish way makes him more of a babyface.
You think so?
Like, if you want Montez to be a babyface, let him do that. Let him dial that up a little bit, because people find heels enjoyable for the same reasons. Like I said at the beginning, everybody knows this is phony and nobody's even trying to make it realistic anymore. So anybody that's any level of entertaining, whether they're supposed to be booed or cheered, the fans end up liking them, right? So, like, how do you turn MJF babyface? How the hell do you do that? You know? So we go from, they started liking him because he's going out and roasting everybody, right? So now they start popping for it. Then when they turn MJF babyface, he comes out there and tries to tell true stories about his life and get people to cry. And it's like, this sucks. get back to insulting people, you know? So like, I think if Montez wants to be the biggest babyface, he should lean into that, like, you know, like he used to do. He used to make fun of heels and stuff like that. He should just continue to do that. And, you know, Street Profits should just kind of stay as they are. And especially if we want to revitalize the tag team division, you need to have the Street Profits there.
And maybe that's the confliction in general. Like, if that's how they're thinking, they're probably thinking that way. But we need the tag team. Or Montez is such a nice guy that he doesn't want to fuck up his boy, right? But I'm sure deep down in his own mind, he knows there's got to be a time for me. Like they were teasing it. There was a time they were teasing they were going to split. There's too much start and stopping going on with the Street Profits going back over a year ago.
If they split, Dawkins is gone.
100%.
End of story. So if you're going that route, just know that you're costing a guy his job. He can still latch on to Montez for a little while longer. Look, let's turn to the people whose opinions on this subject really matter in the chat. Sonic the Hedge Rat says they have a fine line to walk with black wrestlers. What is too stereotypical, especially nowadays? Exactly, especially when white people are booking it. Mike Martin says, guys, look at it like this. If I'm a black dude channel changing from basketball and see Montez on TV, I'm going to stop. Right. You just
Montez,
can't help it.
key word.
You have to, well, that's what I'm saying. But like, you will take, you come for the Montez Ford and stay for the Dawkins, right? Like you just, the Dawkins and the Lashley. So, I mean, it's just
a hard one.
But even if I take the racial component out of it, my main thing is you need tag teams. They're a tag team. Let them be a tag team, and the people want to like them, so let the people like them. If the people start booing the Street Profits for no reason, then you could start talking about what do we do. But they've already tried to turn them heel, and then I turn on SmackDown, and they're in France doing the old NXT bit.
See
what happened
I mean?
to the suits? What happened to the suits and being quiet? I guess it didn't work. Issue. So I guess we're back to Street Profits, and that's fine.
But did they give it a chance to work? That's the thing, dude. They really didn't. It was all rushed.
Why do you want Montez Ford to be quiet and stand there stoically in a suit? I don't get it.
I don't want that. No, that's not how I would have done it.
No, not you. I'm saying that that's like a rhetorical question. Right. Why would anybody want that? You know, there could be money in a heel run for Montez in the future, perhaps, but we could still have room to grow as a babyface and as a team and everything. So let's not get too hasty.
Well, for me, I feel like Montez at one stage needs to like branch off and go it alone because he's got too much charisma not to do that. You know what I mean? Babyface or heel. I think he'd be a great face or heel, like in general. He's got that arrogance about him. He's got the look too, right? Where he can literally, I did like the coming to America sort of throwback to Montez on SmackDown particularly. I don't remember if he wore the same thing on what do you call it, on Backlash, but you know how he was wearing the, what do you call it, man, the fucking chains on the side, whatever it was, not chains, I don't know what the fuck they call it, but it's you know how he was wearing the gold thing over him. What would you call that?
I must have missed what you're talking about. I don't really.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It was a throwback in me of Coming to America, the Eddie Murphy fucking spot when he first turned up, the way he was dressed. Not completely, but similar. Anyway, I just think Montez eventually needs a fucking just, you know, it's a pro wrestling business, man. You can't feel bad. Because in the end, it's only going to drag you down. If what's his name? If Dawkins can't fucking hang, well, maybe you need to look at something else. You know what I mean? Like, or do something else. Practice, do something, man. I mean, Ravishing Rick Rude was known to talk to himself in the mirror, right? Using a freaking hairbrush.
Well, don't assume that he's not. Look,
right?
I know Dawkins works hard because
absolutely he would.
I see. No, I'm telling you, like you're saying he needs to practice. Well, I'm telling you he practices. I see the stuff that people post from the little meetup that they do with like, It's Natalia, it's Dawkins, it's Apollo Crews, it's
and Natalia's
Moose.
house.
The people from all different wrestling companies are getting together on their own time.
I've noticed that
to work on stuff, and Dawkins is one of those guys. So he's doing what he can. But this is the thing, though. Like, again, even as the Street Profits, the tag team division was so sorry when they were actually kind of getting pushed. There was really nothing to gauge them as a team against if we rebuild the tag team division and give them something. What was I saying earlier about, okay, what if GOD reforms their tag team and sort of creates like a dominant tag team? Now them versus the Street Profits is very exciting and interesting. So, but there really wasn't anything like that. To me, it was just like Street Profits were kind of a hot tag team in the middle of a show with no tag team matches and no tag teams. So
that makes sense when you put it that way. Absolutely, I get that part. But like, especially if Bianca Belair goes heel, which looks like they're teasing that. I mean, they are planting seeds for her. I think it'll be her that turns on Jade, right?
Well, for example, if she's turning heel, then I'm turning heel because I'm tired of talking about Damage Control too.
Yeah, I get that. But what my point was, though, imagine they heel Bianca Belair with Montez also, together with her, where they acknowledge, I mean, they do acknowledge it, but not on television per se, but where they're just both arrogant pricks, you know what I mean? They're better. They think they're better. I just think it would be a cool thing to see. Hopefully one day they go that way. But yeah, no, that was a good little back and forth. We'll see where that goes.
And another black man says, I don't want to see Bianca Belair's husband acting coked out. So, I mean, that's another take too. So, I mean, we'll never, there is no right or wrong answers per se. It's just, we have to have these discussions, but I think I agree with like Liz's first sentence here. That's kind of my whole point above everything. Like, we've got plenty of guys that can come out and get the crowd to sing their theme song, but now let's work on the tag team division. Why does everyone feel the need to break up tag teams? If you have a division, you can't just keep splitting people up who have legitimate teams just because you want to see if one can get over alone. That's old school. The idea of tag teams only existing to see if one guy can get over, that's not really the wrestling business. That's another old Vince McMahonism that needs to die.
That's true. That's true. I agree with that. That's 100% true. And plus, back in the day, tag teams were legit tag teams, man. They came together. They signed together. They practically signed the same contracts. You know what I mean? That's kind of lost now because I don't think there's any true. There are a few. Don't get me wrong, but there aren't any true tag teams that are tag teams that come in together from another promotion. Like they were together before our promotion put them together. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they came in together. There's not enough of that anymore, like it was back in the day, which is kind of sad. But Mike Minor says, because no one wants to see the Quebecers forever.
well, no one wanted to see the Quebecers at all. And no one wanted to see either one of them as a single. And I still have to see one of the Quebecers on fucking TNA every week.
I know. I can't believe he's still around, dude. That blows my mind, bro. Like, that is fucking crazy, man. I mean, great. I mean, good on him, but God. Now he's looking real, like, Anyway.
He's turning into the gimmick.
Yeah, nah, he really is, dude. He really is. Maybe he should retire. Yeah, PCO is a good man, but he's fucking old now, man. He was getting hot in the independents about 6 years ago. He was. Let's be real. His name was out there, and then TNA signed him, and then what? You know what I mean? Like, cool, whatever. Like, I don't know, man. Get the electricity. He's a fucking Frankenstein. I get it. Whatever. But yeah, I guess that was. Thank you, Mikey. Very good discussion. Top Extreme today.
Someone's gonna have to bring us back from the dead. We've already given you a 2+ hour bonus show. AEW took the week off. We didn't.
Absolutely not. And again, AEW, man, they got to. Did you know? How long did you know that Collision wasn't on? Did you know from Wednesday?
Someone told me earlier in the week, I think.
Okay, see, I never got told. I never saw any advertisement, nothing. I went to watch it, and then I realized, hang on a minute, this is last week's fucking show. Like, but anyway, then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, damn. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Cold Blooded says he's a bigger version of Gypsy Joe. Well, yeah, I can see that.
Then we need to resurrect New Jack so that he could beat the fuck out.
No, don't even go there, bro. Fuck that. Actually, you know what? Speaking of that, have you watched The Returned? The TV show?
No.
Get into it, man. It's a fucking great show, bro. It's about people died, but they've come back from the dead, but not in the sense that like there's zombies or anything. It's not like that. They're just back to normal. They don't even realize they died. They just turn back up home, and it just throws a wrench in everything. Great show. The only problem about that show, it only goes for one season, and that was back in 2015, and they haven't done another season since. Even though everything, if you look at reviews, it was all positive, bro. Everyone loved the show, but you left me in the cliffhanger, man. So that's the warning I give. I don't know are they going to bring back these shows?
Well, I better just not watch it then. I wouldn't want to be left on a cliffhanger.
You'll get pissed off. You'll be pissed off, bro.
Yeah.
You'll be left
better
with
just ignore it
questions.
and forget you ever told me. Yep.
But it's a great show, man. I swear it's one of the best shows I've seen in a long time. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, in saying that, Vet, I think, yeah, like you said, man, we gave the people an extra show that we actually have been putting on shows, even without AEW. But we've given the people no days off.
Darren
Exactly.
Young from New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong.
Exactly. And where's his teammate? He's just still getting paid.
That's right.
Doing nothing, whatever. Mm-hmm. So in saying that, Vet, let's take it home, man, and tell them where they can find you.
Well, Opinion Haver on all the social media platforms. Next Level Wrestling Review every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern with Big Ray Hernandez. You can hear me talk about TNA and PCO and other 3-letter combinations on Mondays with Brandon. Impact Attack, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Check out Wrestling with Rogers every Friday, 8 a.m., 11 a.m. And that's a Q&A, so you can ask questions just like you could have here. And check out Stevie Richards with his million wrestling channels and fitness channels and podcasts and wife's podcast and everything else.
Nice. That was straight to the point. I love it. Well, if you want to follow me on the X, you can at DJ Mass Effects and also at the PWC Network. Like and subscribe right here on channelattitude.com, where for $5, not only do you get the realest, but also the best talk in all of pro wrestling. Also, Hamin Media Group.podbean.com for all our affiliate shows, and the PWC Network.podbean.com for all my other shows. And I think that's a wrap. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. That is the Vet, Jamie Williams. And you've been listening and watching The Wreckage. right here on channelattitude.com via Hamin Media Group. And we're out. Peace.
They want a battle, I'm ready for war. I come from the struggle and love all the trouble. I've been here before. I'm done and I'm sick of the talk, the smiling faces, not anymore. Yeah, kicking the door. Been in the gutter, I call from the mud, I can give you a tour. If they want a battle, I'm letting it loose. I've been the bigger man, they didn't give a damn, and I don't wanna call a truce. And they don't wanna hear the truth, they think it was luck that got me in the booth. Cause I'm up and I'm eating my fruits, and they didn't see the seeds or the bleeding. Non-believing, underachieving, see I remember this time I was flat on my ass. Mum lost the yard and I'm trying to grass. Studio was my time apart, I'd go bake off back at Mooley's yard, scheming how we'd get our moolahs up. Stupidness for a few quid more, thank God every day that music bust. Think I ain't ready, you stupid. If they want a battle, I'm ready for war. I come from the struggle and love all the trouble, I've been here before. I'm done and I'm sick of the talk, the smiling faces, not anymore. Yeah, kicking the door. Been in the gutter, I come from the mud, I can give you a tour. If they want a battle, I'm ready for war. I come from the struggle and love all the trouble, I've been here before. I'm done and I'm sick of the talk, the smiling faces, not anymore. Yeah, kicking the door. Been in the gutter, I come from the mud, I can give you a tour. Yo, alright, I got 16, 15 left. I'm cologne when I lift these reps. Hard to moan when you live this blessed. Bro, don't park the chrome, it just rips and press. Swipe and go, I spend quids on crepes. Multiply my dough when I flip this check. All I write about is tits and sex. I'm surprised I ain't had no pitneys yet. Now I like these man and my youth. Spit a line and fire up man in the booth. Bring the ride out, stand on the roof. Man try but you just can't battle the truth. So my guys still savage, you youths. Not a music vid, they ain't planning a shoot. If it happens, it's true. But if they want a battle, I'm ready for war. I come from the struggle and love all the trouble, I've been here before. I'm done and I'm sick of the talk, the smiling faces, not anymore. Yeah, kicking the door. Been Been in the gutter, I come from the mud, I can give you a tour. If they want a battle, I'm ready for war. I come from the struggle and love all the trouble, I've been here before. I'm done and I'm sick of the talk, the smiling faces, not anymore. Kicking the door. Been in the gutter, I come from the mud, I can give you a tour. Ready for war, ready for war. up in your face. No, we ain't tapping out, but y'all ain't but this way. Whoa, gorilla tactics. Ain't nobody really than gorilla. Gorilla tactics. Ain't nobody really than gorilla. Ain't nobody really than gorilla. Ain't nobody really than gorilla. I said, ain't nobody really than gorilla. Ain't nobody really than gorilla. I said, ain't nobody really than gorilla. Ain't nobody really than gorilla. I said, ain't nobody really than gorilla. Ain't nobody really than gorilla. Gorilla tactics. Whoa, you know we bout action. Whoa, you know we not lacking. Whoa, matchups not matching. Whoa, jump up on the rope, put my feet up in your face. No, we ain't tapping out, but y'all ain't but this way. Whoa, gorilla tactics. Ain't nobody really than gorilla. Gorilla tactics. Ain't nobody really than gorilla. Gorilla tactics. Whoa, you know we bout action. Whoa, you know we not lacking. Whoa, matchups not matching. Whoa, jump up on the rope, put my feet up in your face. No, we ain't tapping out, but y'all ain't but this way. Whoa, gorilla tactics. Ain't nobody really than gorilla. Gorilla tactics. Ain't nobody really than gorilla.
Grateful for the shit I got, cause I come from a hard life. Demons on my mental, so some shit I wanna archive. Fast looking out, tryna bring a nigga down. Just thinking about the possibility I frown. Far out in that water, father, don't let me drown. I can hear my grandma saying, don't let me down. People wanna kill me or keep my gun round. I squeeze first, I can't lose the millies I found.
More beef, so we got more choppers. Clean sweep, we hit them so proper. Knee deep, been on that road, mama. And my new Nina sing like a soap opera. For the gang, that's how I bleed, don't need no doctor. I can't see us losing, safe to say we got a cold roster. Block work, I travel with that rock like I'm a globetrotter. He ain't never post up or a trap to get his own dollars. Can't trust the hoe, cause all them lies she told a whole lot of. Now she turning something I pass on. Got a pretty bitch down in Philly, she a bad John. Like slow it down, I can't fuck you to no fast song. A trip to Miami, had the doctor put her ass on. My prayers won't answer like I'm talking to the skies wrong. This to hit the block, I used to hate to be in class long. Jim Carrey, I'm a different person with that mask on. You don't wanna be the one that we hop out and spaz on.
Grateful for the shit I got, cause I come from a hard life. Demons on my mental, so some shit I wanna archive. Fast looking out, tryna bring a nigga down. Just thinking about the possibility I frown. Far out in that water, father, don't let me drown. I can hear my grandma saying, don't let me down. People wanna kill me or keep my gun round. I squeeze first, I can't lose the millies I hustling up the swanky, wishing I was off a bean. No store, I was hungry for that money like a fiend. Too deep in that water, my life ain't had no order. A lot of blue stories, I'm feeling like Baby King. I ain't Dr. Seuss, but I keep two things. And the pop never got time to record, but she sing. They run track, I know I will be a dummy if I lack. Brody never been nowhere, but still he always trying to pack. Can't subtract, I'm rich, but now I'm trying to get rich. I've been flying private lately, tears been dying for pictures. I do my own thing, ain't the biggest artist yet, no shame. Rain bars till they sink in, got me so trained. Float Wayne, I don't give a fuck about no selling. Catch a op and we gon' send them to the sky. They be like, TJ, why do you move around with all them fucking guns? I just tell them that's cause I don't wanna die. And trust me, I don't lie, can't fuck up, I'm a star right now. If I don't quit the blow, I will be in the stars right now. Big old chains, I could buy like 7 cars right now. Never count me out, I won't let the bars pipe down. No produce, like I'm trying to go to Mars right now. Really live this life, it ain't just no facade I found. See a op, that's on bro, he better dodge my round. My last kill looking like Nicki Minaj in the gown. I'm so grateful for the shit I got, cause I come from a hard life. Demons on my mental, so some shit I wanna archive. Rags looking out, tryna bring a nigga down. Just thinking about the possibility I frown. Hard on that water, father, don't let me drown. I can hear my grandma saying, don't let me down. People wanna kill me or keep my gun round. I squeeze first, I can't lose the millies I found.
The PWC Network. What the world is watching and listening to.